Well, hello, and here I am again at that awkward angle. So, I had a pretty good day today considering it is shitty out. I did my coaching, as if anybody really gives a shit. I did my coaching with the girl I've been coaching for the last 2 weeks or whatever. She's so amazing, and she makes my job so easy compared to the other people that I coach, because they're still stuck in the they want to lie to me phase. And right away here comes this new girl coming in, and she is brutally honest, and I love it. Love it. So for anyone who's interested in any type of beauty regimen, or products that actually fucking work, I've tried about 20 primers that go underneath foundation, and they claim to take away the look of how deep your pores are or how pronounced your pores are. And every single one of them I've tried has sucked a big fat hairy ball sack. So and then that's a waste of money. So then I go to Ulta and I buy this pack of skincare products, trial sized, so I could see. And it turns out they actually had a blurring, a pore blurrer in there that also doubled as a moisturizer. So that's exactly what I came to find out that I needed. So so I literally, come on, man, what are you doing? So I literally put it on with a different primer. I added both of these primers together the other day. So that was the Urban Decay primer, and then this blurring primer on top of it. And it didn't really do shit for me. So I said, you know what? I didn't give it a real chance. Maybe the two primers together kind of fucked with my face a little bit. And guys, if you're not here to talk about beauty, that's okay. I'm going to get into recovery in about 2 minutes. So I just wanted to show the primer because I don't know the name of it. So I'm kind of a little shitty with remembering names. I've also been using Regenerist L'Oreal stuff too, so I'm kind of happy about that. Here it is. This is the primer that I used today. It is from Strivectin. So I've been seeing a lot of these products lately, and it seems like they work really, really well. So I used the primer by itself today, and I noticed that my pores are a lot less noticeable, and I think I'm going to buy the big one. Now, this is probably really expensive, so I'm not really sure if this is gonna be fitting within my budget for the week, because I like to spend a lot of money on makeup throughout the week, and if something costs too much and then I can't buy anything else, I tend to get pissy for the rest of the week. So this is called Strivectin Anti-Wrinkle Line Blurfector Instant Wrinkle Blurring Primer. So it really doesn't say anything about pores on the front. On the back it says apply evenly to the skin after moisturizing, which I did, as a final perfecting step to prime skin for makeup. Okay, so it didn't say anything about pores. However, it worked really well. And I think I'm going to use this. Now I know I'm going to stop wasting money on primers and consistently use this from now on. End of story. It's the only thing that works. That said, enough about beauty and back to recovery. So today I did another NARCAN training. This is my second training. The first one was back in 2016, and it wasn't with the nasal aspirator. I mean, it was a nasal aspirator, but what I didn't like about it is that you had to put all these fucking pieces together in order to make like a whole thing. Like, this person is overdosing and I'm going to be putting together a kit. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I went and I got this new training where they offered a kit afterwards. So this is the kit, and they put a mouth guard, they give you gloves, and they give you 2 NARCAN nasal aspirators, and the gloves and all that. Okay, so that's and the NARCAN informational pamphlet, which is right here, which is very, very important. So here's the deal. What I didn't know, I knew how to inject the NARCAN. I did not know the steps to take before I decide to inject. Meanwhile, you have to figure out if the person is not, is this person just nodding, or is this person overdosing? So with heroin and fentanyl, it is very, very hard to figure that out. It's not easy because they could just be in a nod. So that's the issue that people have with deciding whether to do NARCAN. So I'm going to tell you now exactly how to figure that out. Okay. I just ripped the button off the car. The button for the window. Okay. So, scenario. You're somewhere, anywhere, it doesn't matter where, at a park. You see a person nodded, and you're worried they could be overdosing, but you don't know. How do you figure it out? You don't know this person. 90% of the time, I would say that you will not see drugs around them or on them. They might have a needle sticking out of their arm, so always be aware of what's going on around the person and also around you. You have to make sure you're safe as well. That said, the first thing you're going to want to do is just like see if they're responsive. Tapping them, rubbing a sternum. If they do not respond to the sternum rub, which you have to apply pressure to in order for it to work, because if they're not feeling that pain, then there's a problem. So you don't want to slap anybody. You don't want to give them any other drugs. You don't want to like do anything that's going to hurt or bruise them unless you're doing the sternum thing. Don't like rip them out of the chair or whatever they're sitting on. Like, don't do any of that. Okay, we're going to be as professional as possible. So rub the sternum. They don't respond, dial 911 immediately. That is always the first thing that you do. Okay, so after that happens, we're going to give the sternum another rub just to make sure. Okay, they're not responding. What are we doing? Okay, you already called 911. Now you're going to insert the nasal NARCAN. See? So you're going to hold it like that and literally put the plunger up their nose. Okay, you're going to, if they do not respond after that, you're going to administer rescue breaths. Rescue breaths are different than CPR. We're not doing any chest compressions. We're simply breathing a normal one-time breath and then waiting 5 seconds and then doing another one. After 2 minutes, they're still not responding, give them another hit of that NARCAN. Okay? And then they might, 9 times out of 10, they will come out of it the first or second time. But don't quote me on that. It's just, it is the way, you know, it is what it is. So, if the person starts to respond, okay, if they don't, keep doing what you're doing. After the second NARCAN, you want to continue the one breath every 5 seconds until somebody comes and releases you, EMT or, you know, basically EMT, law enforcement or whatever. So if they do respond, you're going to want to lay them on their, I guess, their right side. So this way, in case they throw up, they will not choke on their vomit. Okay, so you want to lay them with one arm tucked under them and on their right side. So that's really, it's simple, but it's chaotic when you're in the middle of trying to save a life. And it is very, very, very important to understand that if you have that Narcan, I don't care what anybody says, if you have the Narcan and somebody is fucking overdosing, it is your responsibility to, at the very least, call police. At the second very least, administer the Narcan at least once. You have it, you might as well use it. So this is a life-saving chemical. Everybody should have one, or at least several. Everyone should have at least several of them, because it doesn't always take just one pump of the Narcan to revive somebody. So if you do not have Narcan, you still have to call the police. You have to stay, at least do some rescue breathing, maybe some chest compressions, just in case, because you don't know how far along in their overdose they are. So we want to be as safe as possible. And remember that just because they're an addict and they're in active addiction, that's still somebody's child. That's still somebody's son, daughter, mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, cousins, uncle, whatever it is. That's still somebody's loved one. And maybe they're sick now, but there's a very good chance that one day they will not be in active addiction anymore. But we have to give everybody a chance. These are people, they're human beings. We are human beings. You know, we don't know their story. We don't know what they were susceptible to. We don't know how they got into it. So the fact that you can get past it without judgment shows what amazing character you have as a person. Seriously, God bless you if you can do that. And all of this is precautionary. This goes for people who maybe they don't think they know somebody, or maybe they do know several. This can help anybody. It is so important. It's better to have the knowledge and not ever use it than to not have the knowledge and need it. So that said, if you have any questions, you know how to get me. Instagram is Danielle_in_recovery_247. And my Twitter handle is at the self-care guru, all one word. And my, obviously, YouTube, you know, Danielle, Recovery Realness 247. My email, recoveryrealness247@gmail.com. Get me anyway. Anyway, I'm here. Come at me with some questions. I'm good to answer. You guys have a really good day. Be safe and be aware of your surroundings.